Hello everyone, welcome back to Growing with God. Today, I want to break down a verse, and this verse is Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11, which reads, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." So, let's start by defining what the word is in this verse. What is God's word? Well, in the context of this verse, it refers to anything that God says or proclaims to the world. It could be maybe a prophecy about a nation's destruction, or it could be a promise of prosperity to the righteous. And it could also be a plan that he is interested in setting up for the world. The idea is that when God prophesies something, it will 100% come to pass, no matter what any government tries to do, or professor, or parent, or emperor. No one can change it because God can influence everything that goes on in this world. King Solomon, with an understanding of this idea, said in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will." And to further our understanding of this idea, we can look at some examples of people who saw God's word come to pass despite their greatest efforts to go against it. One great example of this is the promise that God made to Abraham in Genesis chapter 22, verse 15 to 18, where it said that Abraham's seed would be great, and all the nations of the world will be blessed through Abraham. This indeed come to pass despite all the efforts of people going against it. First off, Pharaoh, in the beginning of the book of Exodus, tried to prevent the Israelites from leaving the land, and he ended up having him and his country being destroyed in the 10 plagues, despite all of the efforts that he made. Then there was the other half of this promise, that all the nations of the world would be blessed through Abraham and his seed, which was fulfilled by Jesus Christ, as Jesus Christ came from Abraham, and he was a blessing to all humans, as we see in Galatians chapter 3, verse 16. And once again, someone tried to interfere with this. Satan tried to interfere by tempting Jesus to sin. However, all the efforts of these wicked people throughout history to, take down Jesus Christ have failed, and God's plan for Abraham and humanity with the ransom sacrifice has succeeded. Then, there is also the example of King Saul that we see in 1 Samuel chapters 18 to 20, where he knew that King David was about to take over his throne. So he started to hunt David down in the hopes that, God would just let his plan die like that. But obviously, since God's word will always come to pass, as that Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11 says, King Saul was never able to actually capture David and kill him. And David later became one of the greatest kings that Israel had ever seen. But of course, the prophecy given in Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11 has not changed, and God is still fulfilling every single one of his goals, and no one can go against that, as we see the effects of these goals that were set up thousands of years ago today. For example, the Bible has actually predicted the fall of false prophets and religious institutions in Matthew chapter 7 verses 21 to 23, where despite all their efforts, Jesus Christ would still cast them out. But some of these religious leaders don't want to accept this, as they try to do everything in their power to preserve their churches by watering down the doctrines and twisting the scriptures to promise prosperity for their members no matter what they do, because they know that this is what people want to hear. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 10 reads, "Which say unto the seers, See not, and to the prophets, Prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits." Of course, the attempt of religious leaders to keep up with these rapid secular advancements we are witnessing today too was predicted in Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 30, comparing them to women and how they wear fine clothes to impress other people, which ends up all being for nothing. This verse reads, "And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life." But what should we really do with this information? Well, we should use it as a reminder to always trust in God's prophecies, because they will always come to pass. His prophecies are reliable, trustworthy, and we will always have control over our lives when you trust in God. Jeremiah chapter 17 verses 7 to 8 read, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." But anyway, this is it for this video. If you liked it, I'll greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that like button down below, and also to click that notification bell. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.